Hey everybody, welcome to the latest edition of Sketchy Go Ichie. I'm your host, Roger Andrews, and in this particular one, I'm going to continue my never-ending battle to draw pretty much every single pop culture figure in the world. This one is Prince, R.I.P., and it's kind of like my take on how I like to render portraits. I've kind of found not a shortcut so much as a workflow that allows me to sort of capture the likenesses of these celebrities and pretty much anybody I want through using photo reference. And it's pretty much changed my whole way of working from imagery that's photographic and turning it into illustration. And I want to share that with you. So stay tuned and enjoy.
Sketchy Go Ichie.
All right, let's talk about Prince. Or better yet, how to draw Prince. Or even better than that, I'm going to give you 5 steps on how to draw pretty much any celebrity from any photograph. Of course, step number 1, find good reference. You don't know how many illustrations are defeated right at the very beginning by just not finding and selecting the right photograph. And of course, step 2, focus on the face. Guys, it is the most crucial and essential element of any portrait illustration, whether they be close-up or full body images, or like this case with this Prince illustration, it's kind of Purple Rain inspired illustration. If you notice here from the photo reference, I had a really great, body posture image, but I was able to select a face that I thought worked better, at least for the illustration that I was trying to do. So when I mentioned find good reference and then focus on the face, of course, the major part of that is finding the face that fits the particular composition you're going for. Or if you're just rendering an image from a photograph just to kind of practice, or maybe you're just making sort of an illustration for yourself, just for your own pleasure, great. But the key and most dynamic part of any image, the thing to focus on, the thing to draw everyone's attention, to draw your own attention, is the facial structure, the facial features, the expression on the face. And that's why I selected this particular face and sort of photoshopped it into the rest of that photograph, that image. Just something about the look in his eye, something about, there was a sort of like a mischievous quality to that particular face. And I thought it played well with, basically the vibe and the feel I was going for the overall illustration. Of course, I like the way the hair sort of flared out, and it was, of course, it's total 80s hair. And Prince being one of the most iconic figures of that era. So it's just classic nostalgia for me and for anyone who kind of lived through it, who got to actually go to high school with kids who, intentionally did that to their hair. Yes, intentionally. They are probably your parents right now. Anyways, I digress. But yes, so you focus on the face. You spend a lot of time and energy, maybe most of your time and energy, capturing that look. So if there's a lot of trial and error and there's some back and forth, it's probably wise to spend, if you have your energy in unlimited supply, great, focus most of it on the face, the hair, and that part of the illustration, and you're more than likely to receive your best reviews based on that. Step number 3, see the details. Now, this is tricky because, everyone has a different eye for detail. Every artist can kind of see, as I'm rendering here, the kind of the ruffles of his pirate-looking shirt. That feels like something from a Seinfeld episode. So kids, go back and check out your Seinfeld, and definitely go check out your Purple Rain. Actually, you know what? Kids, I'm not going to recommend you check out Purple Rain directly, perhaps with the parents' permission. That is why I don't use the for kids tag. I want to be able to talk about Prince in a not an adult way, but in a universal way. But I'm still not going to be responsible for exposing anyone's children to Purple Rain. 80s was a different time, guys. Different sensibilities. second digression of this particular video. Getting back to the details, seeing it. All right, so seeing the details to me is initially finding the shadows. Oftentimes the shadows for me in any photograph are the spine of any image. If you can find the shadows, as you notice what I'm doing here, I'm finding the darkest areas in the photograph and I'm rendering those first, and then I'm finding the sort of the intermediary areas, the intermediate adjacent sort of like midtones to the shadow. And I do that in my specific style. Well, I say mine, not like I invented it. This sort of cross hatching or this feathering effect where I draw these tapered lines because I'm trying to replicate an inking style, a sort of a traditional sort of brush ink or Coquille pen ink. Forgive me if I said that wrong. Inking pen. So that's what I was going for. So step 4, editing. So we refer to the details, right? For me, what makes a really successful piece is the editing. It's deciding which of those details you want to emphasize and which of those you want to sort of de-emphasize or spend less time and energy on. And for me, that's just a matter of focus. Where do you want to focus the viewer's eyes? In this section of the piece, it's the guitar, which for anyone who's drawn guitars are complicated to draw. I mean, there's so many different elements to it. It's the, where the 6 or greater strings. It's, it could be, who knows, there's the pickups and the little knobs on the back. I'm sorry, I'm not a musician. I don't know what they're called. But all the different elements of the guitar are complicated. So for me, I edit them by just focusing on certain aspects of them. I think that's the fret bar. I believe that's what that's called. Forgive me, all my friends who I grew up with who were rock bands, they would know this by heart and are probably like rolling over in their seats just listening to me butcher their instrument. But anyways, yes. So edit. Figure out which is the most important elements to be able to convey guitar or any other part of the illustration, and stop there. Move on to the next one. And this is the last step. And this is why you edit, because you want to save some time. Not that you're on a clock necessarily, but save some, again, energy, like I mentioned earlier, for the final touches. The little parts of the illustration that provide added flavor, added pizzazz, panache, And I think the way to capture that is to save some time, save some energy for like little details. Like right here, I'm sort of, the idea to just tilt the illustration just a little bit to the right, and then kind of flow in the background, this dark background, and then I got the hint of what would be like concert lighting, and that's that. There you go, Prince. Again, R.I.P., love Prince, love Purple Rain, love When Doves Cry, all of that. There it is, Sketchy Go Ichie. Live your moment. Be sure to follow me on all the socials, and please do like the video and subscribe if you're not already.